Thank you, everyone. We're going to jump straight into kind of our second interview. Delighted to have sat with me a fellow Brit, even if James has since moved across here. We're going to be talking about kind of Kinective Media by United Airlines, the Traveller Media Network. So James is the Managing Director of Brand Marketing, MileagePlus and Kinective Media by United Airlines. So Kinective Media only just launched in June.
Yep.
So do you want to kind of give us some background at what inspired United Airlines to create it, and how does it differ from other media networks in the space?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for joining. So we're very excited about what we've launched within United Airlines. I think, as we just heard, retailers are sitting on an amazing set of first-party data that they can now leverage in a new and meaningful ways. And we've got a whole host of other commerce players joining the fray. We felt like we had an opportunity to not only do that, but also enhance the traveler journey, the airline experience, if you like. So we were obviously sitting on an amazing set of data from a travel perspective, from a loyalty perspective, and really a customer experience that was ripe for innovation. If you've sat on a plane and seen the same ad over and over again, post-safety video, you know there's opportunity for us to get better and do a better job of giving you a dynamic experience. So we felt like there was definitely an opportunity to do that, and so we jumped in and hired the right people, built the right technology, partnered with the right companies, and got it off the ground pretty quickly.
Perfect. So it's called kind of the Traveller Media Network. Do you want to kind of explain that concept and how it adds value to both the brands and the passengers?
Yeah, I mean, similar to what I just said, I think there's an opportunity for us to improve the experience. We talk about the flywheel, and we talk about the opportunity to sort of have these sort of three pillars of the flywheel being travel, loyalty, and media. And those three things in combination create value for both our brands and our customers. The customer is obviously right in the center of everything that we're doing. Travel gives us the scale. Loyalty gives us the quality of the data and the richness of the data. And then our media business can then create personalization and opportunities for us, for brands to integrate and interact with our customers throughout their journey. And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. As more and more travelers enjoy that experience, they rebook, we get, again, more audience and more loyal customers. So it keeps that flywheel rolling, and ultimately, we think it's a fantastic sort of way to, again, improve the experience. We call it Traveller rather than Travel because it's about the traveler. We're all travelers. We all traveled here in some capacity to be here today. But that, just because we travel doesn't mean we're always on airplanes. We are showing up in other places, and so that audience becomes incredibly valuable to brands to reach outside of the journey, and so we have off-network opportunities to extend our audience reach as well.
Brilliant. And so the pilot program only launched this June, which is, 4 or 5 months ago. So it seems quite harsh me asking this next question, but do you have any early success stories then that you can share around this?
Yeah, actually we do, and it was very exciting to see not only travel brands but also non-travel brands really engage with us, and it kind of speaks to what I was just talking about. Travelers are an incredibly valuable audience, and we have the opportunity to segment that audience out and find different ways in which brands can really engage with them. So we obviously did some great work with travel brands like Norwegian Cruise Line and IHG Hotels, and we saw some fantastic success there. But we also did some work with other non-endemic brands. So one was Televisa Univision, a Spanish-speaking network who also had a streaming service, and they wanted to reach Spanish-speaking travelers throughout their journey, and we were able to push subscriptions for them, and we got an incredible 12% click-to-conversion rate on that, which was kind of industry leading. But also we were able to work with them to have VIX and their Spanish language content show up on our in-flight screens. So that kind of has more of a holistic brand integration opportunity, which again reinforces the way in which Spanish language travelers were able to interact with us.
Great. So those are the success stories. So what about what are the challenges then that you've seen in the last few months?
Well, setting up a media network in 9 months is no mean feat. I think we all had to just roll up our sleeves and figure it out as we went. obviously we wanted to be out the gate with something that our brands really wanted to see from us. And so a minimum viable product was kind of, we wanted to go beyond that and have something that could really deliver results from day one. So I think hiring a team, obviously, picking the right partners, and sort of, just blowing through the barriers that were in front of us was sort of our MO. And I think, we've all got some scars as a result, but nothing sort of, surprisingly, nothing specific kind of stood out in terms of those challenges. We just sort of got on with our business, and thankfully our partners and our customers were willing to come along to ride with us.
Brilliant. A lot in the first 9 months for sure. So I want to look at kind of that customer journey then. So how does Kinective Media integrate with United Airlines customer journeys across those different touch points? I mean, both physical and digital.
Yeah, so if you think about the moment you start sort of researching or thinking about your next trip, all the way to the next one, right? And so whether it's researching online through the website or the app, our app is fantastic. I don't know how many United Airlines loyalists or users are here, but the app is really market leading, and that gives us huge opportunities from a touch point perspective to integrate into the travel journey. Obviously, it's kind of day of travel and the opportunity there, and you think about rideshare and other brand opportunities and partners that we can integrate into that journey. Then you're at the airport. What I've been interested in is trying to figure out from a traveler mindset perspective. I feel like people are way more open to receiving messages, looking for deals, potentially even buying things because they've either budgeted for their trip in some way, or their business is paying for their meals, so they've got money to burn. And so these are great times for people to get messages in front of people. Obviously, that's in the airport. We've got gate information displays, our lounges that can reach a different type of audience, and then physical jet bridges as well, where we have branding opportunities. And then on the plane itself, with our screens and our personal devices. And those will become a lot more dynamic over time as we solve the connectivity challenges of Wi-Fi, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And then obviously after the travel. So post-travel, maybe you're going from your gate to your rideshare or your hotel, or back home. And again, that audience extension opportunity for us to be able to find those audiences in those moments and put the right message in front of them.
I mean, I can safely say I'm more engaged when I'm on the Advertising Week credit card. I really hope none of my team are in the room. Okay, let's talk about kind of in what ways it's different then. So in what ways does a travel and media network differ from a retail media network, and how does this impact the strategies brands should use?
Yeah, I think, it was interesting hearing Michael talk just now, for those who were with us. Retailers obviously have the amazing advantage of being point of sale, being able to close loop attribute that, the spend. But it's also a little limiting because generally speaking, they've got trade and shopper budgets that sort of they've relied on for many years, and now they're trying to sort of move up a funnel. For Commece Media, I feel like there's three dynamics at play here that sort of expand the lens into the commerce world. It's the players, it's the places, and it's the performance. So from a player's perspective, obviously, it opens up opportunities for people beyond retail to get into this world, those that have really strong first-party data and great audiences that brands want to connect with. From a places perspective, it's about the screens and the touch points that we just talked about, being different and maybe a little bit more expansive beyond what retailers are able to do today. And then performance, again, Michael talked about going up a funnel and branding play. I think, we have a very captive audience for hours at a time, and there's an opportunity to play, to take that moment and tell stories, have brands more integrated into the experience. And they're literally strapped in, so we have an opportunity to sort of get that engagement and that attention that very few media operators are able to do. So we have kind of the best of all worlds. It's almost a bit of an embarrassment of riches. As a marketer, I'm kind of like, I don't have to dress anything up. It is what it is, and it's a great story to tell. But I think brands sort of see the opportunity beyond retail media networks with these commerce media networks to say, this is potentially a different set of budgets, a different set of marketing goals that we can achieve. and I want to have my retail spend over here, but I'm looking for other ways in which I can reach valuable audiences.
Yeah. I think you kind of touched on it slightly already, but how does it make these connections more meaningful and more personalized then?
Yeah, I mean, I think personalization is going to be sort of obviously the key to all of this. I think having, if you and I are sitting next to each other on a plane and you see a different set of content, a different ad experience to the one I do, it's likely that there's a reason for that, and it's personalized, it's more relevant. Obviously, that's going to drive performance, but it's also going to drive a better customer experience for our travelers. So again, breaking out of what has traditionally been a pretty straightforward ad experience into something a lot more dynamic is where we're going next. That does rely on connectivity, so I'll talk a little bit about kind of some of the innovations that we're looking at. So recently we announced with Starlink that our planes from 2025 onwards, where we'll be starting to test this, will have 5G connectivity into those planes. And so that creates a whole host of opportunities for us from a live sports, live streaming, live gaming. It opens up programmatic, so each of those seats now becomes more dynamic and more addressable. I think the only question is, will we allow Zoom calls on planes? And I think everyone is saying, please, no, let's not do that. I think, but that connectivity piece is the final piece of the puzzle in terms of truly making this a personalized dynamic experience.
Yeah, I think that's going to take away my excuse of the Wi-Fi wasn't working on the plane.
Unfortunately, so sorry.
I'm sure many of you used as well.
Yeah, apologies.
Okay, great. So we've talked about innovation. I want to talk about kind of what your long-term vision is 9 months in. So what is the long-term vision for Kinective Media? How do you see it transforming the whole travel experience? I mean that for both the passengers and the advertisers.
Yeah, I think I'm sort of a little bit repeating myself, because I think it's definitely all about you as a traveler, as an individual, having a personal experience. And I think this goes way beyond media. This sort of breaks into content. It's an opportunity for brands to really kind of be immersed within that experience. Some great examples of what we've been talking about. So, for example, if you're arriving at your destination, you've got an Airbnb. Next morning, you're going to need some groceries for breakfast. Wouldn't it be great if we worked with a food delivery service that would be able to have that ready for you when you arrived? And so, maybe creating that engagement or that sort of opportunity on the flight to be able to do that. Rideshare could, maybe we're a little bit delayed, or the flight has changed. We know where that individual what flight that individual is on, and therefore could maybe potentially even update the rideshare company so that the user doesn't need to go do that themselves. We're working with entertainment companies, so they know all the seats that are available in the various stadiums and venues that are in their destinations. We know where they're traveling to. We could potentially marry those data sets up. So there is pretty much a use case for every single brand and partner that we've spoken to. And I'm sure there are more that we haven't even thought of yet. Whether it's sponsoring content or creating some utility or value for our travelers, and more kind of entertaining experiences.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, we're coming into the final minute. So I just want to give you an opportunity. If there was one key takeaway or one key learning you want to leave the audience with, then what is it?
I'll sort of leave it with, I think Commece Media, I'll go back to where I started. I think Commece Media opens up a whole host of opportunities that have not even been defined yet. Because this is a relatively new space, because we can take the best of what has worked in retail, but apply it in different environments and a different set of goals. I think the space for innovation is phenomenal, and we encourage all of our partners, our clients, our agencies to come innovate with us so that we figure out what the next frontier is going to be. So excited to continue that conversation with anyone who'd like to do that.
Brilliant. Well, sadly, we don't have time for questions. However, I'm sure James will be happy to kind of meet anyone outside and kind of answer any questions anyone has. But for now, thank you so much, James, for being here.
Thanks, Jamie.